Hi, welcome to the Augmentation of Man again with I'm Renee
I'm Ken, I think.
Miller. We're the Millers. Today you want to discuss what we're talking about,
We are now entering the new field where the earth changes to begin.
and we're not going to be talking about Earth changes today. We're going to be talking about changes within humanity.
Well, that's part of the earth changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are now in this field.
So we're going to get a little bit into the weeds where we're going to get into more scientific concepts of how this all happens. What changes us genetically? What makes us more conscious beings? How does that happen? And it all starts in the gaseous atmosphere. So come along, we're going to show you how this works. After crossing the galactic meridian,
Which we've been doing. So
we're going to enter into a new area of the
so our
galaxy.
system, our galaxy itself, now moves into a new field with different gaseous makeup. The makeup of gases are beginning to shift.
And so you have like our field, our solar system, moving into um, another atmospheric field within the galaxy.
Well, as
And
the
it has a
field shifts,
different,
it just doesn't move. As it
well, as it
changes into the
rotates
field.
in its orbit. And so this this field, this new field that's going to surround at least our solar system, has a different gaseous makeup. And that is going to cause some other changes.
Yeah, it's not really a different gas makeup. It varies than the makeup now. Same
Well, it's
makeup, but it
different to
varies.
some
Yeah,
degree, and to what degree, we
yeah,
don't
we don't
know.
know yet.
But everything in our current field will be forced to surrender to the outside field that we're entering into, or the surrounding field, changing the gaseous makeup of our
The
atmosphere.
percentage makeup, right? And this all based in the language of the universe, which is mathematics.
Right.
So
So it also changes the mathematical
it'll
structure.
change the mathematics of this galaxy, as we can say. I may change up the whole universe, I'm not sure, but it'll change definitely our galaxy. The mathematics will vary differently than it is now, which changes the gaseous percentages.
And it's changing all the subatomic
Yeah.
structure.
So all that is related to each other.
So within these changes, there's some inconsistencies that happen as we move into this field. They're talking about a diametrical influence within the structure of the cosmos. So it would be like two different, how would you say it? Diametrically opposite influences within this field that are shaping and molding things, and the way that our world behaves
Well, they'll
and
compete
the
against each
gaseous
other.
structure.
Yeah, the movements will compete against each other till one becomes stronger than the other.
Okay. And so there's also what they called, and I'm going to quote the way it came through in the meditation when Kent was meditating and receiving this information, is a movement within the subscripts of mathematical configurations coming forth, a new likeness in the atomic field of structure. A mathematical arbitration is significant for this change. A quanticeptive agreement is given from the surrounding fields. So this is the way these messages come through to Kent. And then, can you hand me the book? And then
Yeah.
I take, and this is one of my main books. In fact, this is a newer one that I just bought because I used the other one so much that it was starting to fall apart. Um, Dictionary of Root Words and Combining Forms, mostly Greek and Latin. They do throw in universal words, so we have no reference point for that. So we have to ask for the meaning. They don't spoon feed us. They'll tell us, look it up before we ask for a meaning. So you have to put in some work to try and decipher it before you ask for clarification. So we're going to dive into this here with
The definition
the
of some of these
definitions.
words in that paraphrase that they gave us.
So a movement within the subscripts of mathematical configurations are coming forth.
Yeah, subscript.
So what does subscript mean?
Mathematical figures that are written to the left or the right of a particular number.
So we're talking about how mathematical formulas are written, and a subscript is usually down at the, you have like a number two, and then you have like another number at the bottom, smaller, either to the left or the right of the two, just for an example. But we're talking about how you write a mathematical equation here. So a movement within the subscripts of mathematical configurations are coming forth. They're saying that there's going to be changes within the mathematical configuration that will come forth, and it changes, it has an impact on molecular structure.
Yeah, so a mathematical arbitration is significant for this change. And the word arbitration.
Arbitration means a mathematical settling of differences between these two gaseous fields is what they're talking
One
about.
will become stronger than the other.
Yeah.
They
One will
unite.
submit to the other.
Right.
And, when you're talking about two different gaseous makeups, who's going to conquer over the other and become the dominant force?
It's
And
not
so,
who, it's what is going to come
right. So,
No.
a new likeness in the atomic field of structure. So they're talking about that what we will witness within the field of atomic structure will be, it'll be changing, and we will be able to see those changes. And with the atomic structure and the mathematical structure changes, then the behavior of that matter also changes.
Yeah, so a quanticeptive agreement is given to the surrounding fields. Quanticeptive is a quantitative awareness. So a awareness of many things within that field. And agreement is a state of agreeing, the harmony making this field work, basically conformity.
Right. And so a quanticeptive agreement is given from the surrounding field. So the outside field,
We'll agree to it.
it is giving like it's harmonizing. The two fields are coming into harmonization, and the dominance of the outer field will take place over the existing field that we live in, basically. So then we go into a confluence of consciousness
working together.
coming together.
Yeah.
Coming together of consciousness will arise due to the changing gaseous atmosphere.
Mhm.
So then the changes within the gaseous atmosphere is going to affect the way that our bodies work and our ability to understand things.
Yeah.
It doesn't come easy though, right?
No, it doesn't. So we, the human race, will need to acquiesce to the field of neurologic to feel neurologically our brains are going to have to request to it. Yeah,
adapt.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we can assist this
the
through
process.
the process that's going through meditation and not resisting it. In other words, we can understand it. Understand it is not resisting.
Yeah, and so getting out, barefoot outside, and that helps to align to the earth vibration and just consciously understanding what is happening and not putting up resistance to it. In
Mhm.
other words, you accept the changes and you're willing to move through these changes with the environment
Yeah.
that we live in.
Be sure when you go outside, you don't stand barefoot on an anthill.
Which I did recently
So,
with red ants.
so things are going to happen. We know this, and many people around the world feel it. Something big is coming. They
Yeah.
feel it. They say it. They talk about it. It hasn't happened. The big thing yet. It's going to happen.
But there's this general anticipation,
Yes,
right? And anxiety
and
because you don't know what to
right, and it's
expect.
all over the world. It's not just here. The
Mhm.
whole world is feeling this.
Now, with this gaseous change, it's going to affect the DNA of our bodies also. So, what our guides, the ancients, who are ancient teachers and mentors of the Creator, had described is a genetic consultation within the DNA would occur in relation to the gaseous makeup change in our own atmosphere. So as our gaseous atmosphere harmonizes with the surrounding galactic atmosphere that we're moving into, then that shifts and it triggers a genetic shift or a genetic consultation within
Yeah,
our own
yeah.
bodies.
You won't feel it right away. You won't feel it till more towards the end of this change. Then you'll begin to understand it.
Now, you have DNA that exists that does not have the protein markers on it to turn it on. So basically, some of our scientists in the past have thought of it as junk DNA, kind of like your appendix, where it used to be something we used, but we don't use it anymore. That's not the case. It was turned off intentionally. We're a part of a bigger experiment. Earth is an experiential and an experimental field. And so we are part of a big experiment that involves other extraterrestrial entities. And this DNA is going to be triggered by the atmospheric changes, the gaseous changes, and protein markers are going to be inserted on these on the DNA that hasn't been expressed that will be
Yeah,
expressed.
I find it interesting. They said a redundance means a reoccurring over and over of adolescence. That's interesting using a word will prevail humankind.
So
Yeah.
as we move through
And
these
being transcended,
changes,
that may be the part that's being inquisitive, get us to try to like a child that is inquisitive of what they see, and they explore the new world as they
or
see it.
or it may
Or,
mean that we start to all act like teenagers for a while
oh no, we
until
don't want to.
everything
No,
settles
we don't
down.
want to do that.
The spunky
Rebellious.
rebellious teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, time will tell, right?
Yeah. In time, it
Yeah.
becomes evident that many changes have not had, but have occurred.
Yeah, so as time progresses, we will see these changes and it'll be validation for us.
Yeah.
So as far as humans are concerned, what are some of these changes that physical changes that we're going to experience?
Well, our brain, they say we only use 10% of our brain. So when you say the brain becomes denser, we may end up using a higher percentage of our brain in use. So we can ascertain what we're trying to understand.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so
So
denser brain, maybe it will be, they talk about denser thought patterns, meaning that there's we can pack more information into our thoughts. So if you draw an equivalence to a denser brain, then perhaps we can have a lot more information available and
right,
filed away in
right,
our
the
brains.
percentage of our brain that we use, we'd be able to simulate more information and
Mhm.
make it
Right.
understand it. That's simple.
And
So
so, what else with the
the
brain?
neurological um, or the neurochemical makeup of the body will begin to change itself, enabling processing of information, which means a higher percentage of the brain will begin to function, or we will begin to understand more, which will give us about 4 times that of what we understand now.
And we can process it at a much
Faster
faster
rate, yeah,
rate because we have neurochemicals that transmit
yeah.
messages along our
So,
nerves.
you know,
So, this is going to be changing our nervous system and those chemicals associated with the nervous system so that we can think faster and process a much greater amount of information at a much faster
yeah,
rate.
so this will allow humans to enable to be able to assimilate information at a higher rate
Mhm.
and and to think conceptually quicker
So we will be moving from perceptual beings,
to
which
conceptual. Yes.
since the beginning of this human experiment, we've been learning about perception, which is uh,
How we see things.
how we see
Yeah.
things, which may not be aligned to the truth, and how we
And
view things through all of our senses.
yeah, to explain that, how perception can work, where you got an intersection accident and you got people in each corner, four different corners. And each one, depending on their angle of the accident, will have a different perception of how it happened.
Mhm.
And that's what we mean by perception.
Yeah, and
So
you know what else is, all these siblings who grow up in the same household under the same rules and the same circumstances and experiencing the same events within their home will have different perceptions of what happened.
yeah,
So this is all contributing to our perceptual learning, but we're moving out of that and we're moving into this new cycle of conceptual
yeah.
learning.
I want to iterate. This does not mean all humans will enable to do
Yes,
this.
not everybody is
No.
ready for this
So
next higher level of
yeah,
learning.
so this sets the stage for our reconnection with entities from outside of Earth.
Our star brothers
The
and sisters.
star brothers and sisters, as the native people refer to them. Anyway, they will be teaching us
Mhm.
um, where we are now, and we're more advanced than we were 5,000 years or 4,000 years ago. But we will be teaching old, old advanced ways of doing things that had been lost.
Mhm.
We'll
Plus,
regain those new
mhm,
advanced ways.
and we will be returning to the natural way of doing
Yeah.
things. So the laws of nature and universal laws will be brought back, and in which we will be learning about and have to follow.
Yeah, many of these advances were lost thousands of years ago.
Mhm.
How they were lost, I don't know.
Man took a wrong turn.
Yeah, but they were lost. And now they're going to bring those advanced features back to us again.
And we will begin learning um, technology and information that comes from the fifth dimension. So that does not mean we're moving into the fifth dimension yet.
No, we're still in the learning phase.
So they told us that we would be in the shadow of the fifth dimension, meaning that we have to learn about it first before we can incarnate into it.
Step in.
This body, these physical bodies were not meant to be in a fifth dimensional space. We would have to die, is what, we would say, and then reincarnate in a different lighter body into a fifth dimensional space.
We're not going to go into that.
That's for another lesson. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I hope that we were clear enough with this information.
Tried to give as much clarity as we understand it.
Yeah. So peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment. Do subscribe, hit the bell so that in this changing environment, it's rapidly changing at this point, you will receive updates as we receive them. So you will be ahead of the cusp. It gives you an advantage, I tell you. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Bye-bye for now.